Okay, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Let's try this again. Welcome everybody back to that Hotspurs guy, another episode. Again, I apologize that I haven't posted a video, especially after the Newcastle game. I actually posted a preview for the Newcastle game, and I sent the link to my Twitter account. But after I was listening to the video, there was a bit of a sound quality, and the mic was just playing about. I've had problems with my mic for a little while now, but the mic was playing about, and it was like a 13-15 minute rant, and it was a pretty good video. It was a pretty good preview video to the Newcastle game. Had to delete it, and then I made a second one, which was like about 10 minutes, and then I come to find out that I wasn't even recording that one, so then I just pretty much felt like, bro, I'm done with this YouTube thing. That's how I felt. I actually felt like I was done with YouTube after failing at 2 videos. But here we are. Alright. We are back again after a Europa Conference League match that I, once again, don't even really care about, but I'm forcing myself to watch these games anyway. I'm forcing myself to watch these Europa Conference League games. How do people feel? How do all of the Spurs fans feel who were last season, coming up to the end of last season, when they were saying like, yo, we just need to finish above Arsenal, let's just get some sort of European football? And I was pretty much one of the very few Spurs fans who was just like, bro, I think we should say fuck off to this Europa Conference League. We should be saying it, because a lot of the times, a lot of us Spurs fans, we complain about even being in the Europa League. We complain about even being in the Europa League. So now here we are in the Europa Conference League, and now all of a sudden nobody even cares about the Europa Conference League because we lost to Vitesse, or what I like to call the test. Not Vitesse, the test, because they were the test for our squad players yesterday. Alright? They were the test for our squad players yesterday, and I'm with what I've gathered, the majority of the Spurs fans who are on the side of Nuno should have left. Nuno should have left those top 11 players back at home. That's what he should have done. I am all for Nuno leaving the likes of Harry Kane and Heung-min Son and Moura and Højbjerg and Ndombele, those likes staying at home. I'm all for it. Because we shouldn't have to keep relying on the likes of Harry Kane and Heung-min Son and Lucas Moura and Ndombele and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to get us through the D-tier list of European football. We should not have to be relying on these players, bro. We've got so-called international squad players in our team, and they can't even turn up for a game against the test in Amsterdam to prove their worth, to prove their mettle. The likes of Dele Alli and Harry Winks and Bergwijn and Davies, like, bro. Where were these guys yesterday, bro? I couldn't believe I forced myself to even watch that piece of shite, because I had to be up at 4:45 this morning. And I thought to myself, should I really even sit down and watch the second half? Because I watched the first half, and I thought to myself, should I even suffer the second half? Because I knew what was coming. I knew it. And I can't lie to you guys. When Vitesse scored, I clapped. I clapped because I wanted them to score. How bad is it? That I want the opposition to score against my team in the hopes that my team can grow some backbone, can grow a spine, and actually try and play a bit of football? But we didn't see it. We didn't see anything. Everybody was non-existent. I'm going to be honest with you. The only player who kind of looked like I was like, I like the look of him, Sanchez. Even though Sanchez had a few situations where he was flapping a little bit, but he was solid. Sanchez was pretty solid. He was. Rodon, pretty solid. As he always does. Pretty solid. Everybody else, bro, I have nothing to say. Nothing else to say. Question to the Spurs fans, alright? Question to the Spurs fans who, for some of the Spurs channels that I like to comment on, alright, and I always get replies for people who saying, oh, well, he only scored against those sort of championship-esque sides. Question. Do we really think it was a good idea to have gotten rid of Carlos Vinicius now? Does anybody think it was a good idea to get rid of Carlos Vinicius now? Because I'm telling you now, I've been saying from since we let him go, or even from since last season, we should be keeping Carlos Vinicius because he is the sort of striker that we need. He's the sort of striker that we need who is completely different to Harry Kane. I felt so sorry for Dane Scarlett yesterday. I saw the frustration in young bro's face, in the little bro's face. He's like little bro. Dane Scarlett is like little bro. I felt his frustration. I felt it. Even I was watching the game yesterday as well, yeah, and I even felt like the ref was on the side of Vitesse, but that's not even. I can't even use it as an excuse. But I felt like the ref was on their side. Whenever we were going down the left, because it seems like that's the only way we were actually attacking throughout most of the game, which was down the left. And if anybody was watching, whenever we attacked down the left, the referee would be running almost alongside whoever's attacking down the left, and he would stop right in the way of whoever's playing on which was pretty much Bergwijn or sometimes Brian Hill. But then the ref would always stop and then just be in the way, constantly just be in the way. And I'm like, bro, am I the only one who's seeing the referee do this type shit? And Dane Scarlett, before he just got subbed off that so-called yellow card foul tackle on the goalkeeper, how did the referee not even see that the goalkeeper threw himself in the air after? How did the referee not see it? And the referee was right there watching him the whole entire time. I watched the replay. And the referee was watching the goalkeeper the entire time. Dane Scarlett slid tackle the ball, but didn't get the ball, didn't get the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper jumped over, and while he was in midair, flicked himself as if he got caught and fell. And the referee threw the yellow card at Dane Scarlett. So I felt Dane Scarlett and like, I didn't touch him. I didn't even freaking touch him. So fuck you to the ref as well, but that's not an excuse. That is not an excuse, and Spurs fans, we cannot use, oh, the referee wasn't on our side as an excuse. Like, we can't use that. We were poor yesterday, dreadful, and I don't even use the D word, dreadful, but we were dreadful. Dreadful, bro. I can't believe I suffered it. Can't believe it. I was actually surprised with the Newcastle win. I can't lie to you. I thought we was going to get rolled over at Newcastle. That was a surprise. But to go to Amsterdam, to go to Vitesse, the test, and we didn't even show up, because that was the test for our squad players to prove it. And it just goes to show, bro, these men are worthless. Worthless players, bro. We have so many England so-called internationals who are just happy to get a paycheck. Like, and I've always said that about many English players. 95% of English players, when they reach a certain point, and when pundits and newspapers start raving and ranting and raving about these so-called world-class players, and like we have to slow down on the term of world-class players. All right, there's class and there's world-class. World-class is top tier. We're talking the Messis, the Ronaldos. I'd even put Wayne Rooney in that world-class. Beckham, class, not world-class, class. Because whenever Beckham gets behind a free kick or a corner, you know his problems. I don't know what Dele Alli was doing yesterday. I don't know what Harry Winks was doing yesterday. I don't know what half of the squad was doing yesterday, people. I don't know what was going on. And we played 3 games now and we're 3rd in the Europa League conference table. Bro, and you know, and like I've said in some of my previous videos, don't be surprised if we beat. Don't be surprised. I don't want to see no Spurs fans jumping onto YouTube and just being hella angry about the fact that we've been kicked out of the Europa Conference. Because like I said, we shouldn't have even gotten into it. We should have let Arsenal have it. But the team decided to turn up on the last game of the season, last season, because they didn't want to finish behind Arsenal. We should have allowed it. Because now here we are in the Europa Conference League having to suffer dreadful games like we watched yesterday. That's what we have to suffer. When really, every single game we should be playing, every single game we should be playing with some of the players that we have in our squad, we should be winning at least 2-0. We should be at least winning 2-0 nearly every single bloody game until we reach the knockout stages. Really and truly. But yeah, here we are. losing 1-0 to Rennes. I mean, to Vitesse. Drawing with Rennes. You know, just about beating Mura, and we're celebrating beating Mura. Mura. That's what we're celebrating about. Like, how low have we fallen as a club and as fans? And I've said it for a long time, because of the mediocrity that we have suffered, because of the mediocrity that we have suffered for so long. We've become so attuned to it now that we just want to finish in some sort of Europa League spot. You know what I'm saying? Let's just try and get at least some sort of Europa League spot. Or if we can finish in the Champions League, let's get Champions League spot so we can just participate. Not compete, participate. Participate. We talk about the Champions League final that we got to, but nobody seems to remember that most of the big teams had already gone. Most of the big teams had already been dipped out, because during that time we got to the Champions League final, many of the major European teams were suffering their sort of downfall too, like your Bayern Munichs, your Dortmunds and whoever. Liverpool dealt with Barcelona, but they weren't the same Barcelona as they were before. Even when we went to the new camp and drew 1-0, I can't lie to you, I was shitting my bollocks. I was shitting my bollocks when we were going to the new camp. I thought, bro, please don't let us get the Arsenal treatment. Please. But we left there 1-0. Possibly could have even won it. Possibly. But that Champions League final, when we got to it that year, most of the big teams had already been dipped out. All we had to deal with was Man City. That was it. Just deal with Man City, and then we've got Ajax next. And we couldn't even deal with Liverpool after a 1-minute penalty. Let's just say we still had 90 minutes to go. And we still couldn't even deal with a Liverpool team that didn't even get out of second gear. You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep ranting and raving about getting to the Champions League final, because that's all we ever seem to do. Rant and rave about, but not winning it. Not winning it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still keep saying we've never gotten to a Europa League final or a semi-final. So how great is our team, people? How great is our team really? You know what I'm saying? So now here we are. No players, no creative midfielder, no striker. We're now relying on young bro Dane Scarlett, who should have been out on loan. Should have been out on loan like Skip. But no, we want to rely on Dane Scarlett and pretty much just let him, like, and this is what I feel. I feel like because we're using Dane Scarlett in the Europa Conference now, and we're not even playing to his abilities either. You know what I'm saying? We're not even playing to the best of his abilities. Nobody's creating anything for him. He's going to get frustrated. He's going to get, like, he's going to lose his mojo at some point. He's going to lose his mojo. You know what I'm saying? People, Spurs fans, do we like to just sit here and suffer this mediocrity that we have to deal with from the board up above? Is this what we enjoy doing? And then coming onto YouTube talking about Levy out this, or this man that, or this guy out, or this guy out, or this guy in. I don't even want any players to come into the squad right now until we deal with the shit that we've got in there right now. We need to deal with what the fudge we've got in our squad right now before we start buying other players, people. We have to. We have to. I'm still firm on my belief that we should have had Carlos Vinicius, because Carlos Vinicius would have got a hat-trick yesterday. He would have! But no, Carlos Vinicius only scores against the championship team. So I've been told by Spurs players, by Spurs fans, he only scores against the lows of the lows. But that's what the fudge we want a striker for, bro. We don't need to be using Harry Kane all the goddamn time. We don't need to be using Son all the goddamn time. Can we at least rely on another striker to bag us some goals? And Carlos Vinicius did. He bagged us some goals. He bagged us goals. But apparently, according to quite a few Spurs fans, Carlos Vinicius wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. So let's just chill with one striker again for another season. How about that? How about that? I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. And now we got West Ham. We got West Ham. And people, you already know what I'm going to say. Don't be surprised if we lose to West Ham. Don't be surprised. Because West Ham are under a pretty good manager. Moyes and West Ham fit. They fit. And we're going to get brushed. I can see it already. I can smell it. We're going to get brushed. West Ham always turn up for us. They always do. And I can see it now. half of the team that plays against West Ham on Sunday, they're gonna pretty much just be jogging around the goddamn pitch, and they're not even gonna be able to deal with the bulldogness that West Ham are going to be showing. I can see it already. I can smell it. I can't believe I suffered what I suffered yesterday, people. I could have been sleeping from 7:30. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. People, I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel like I've ranted enough. Because I don't even want to be here for too long ranting about this shitty club right now. I don't want to be. I've got 99 problems and Spurs are 105. Yes. Spurs are 105 out of my 99 problems. Which means Spurs ain't even a problem for me. I don't even care. I do care, but I don't. If that makes sense. I don't know where we go from here, people. I don't know where we go from here. But something has got to give. Alright? Something has got to give. I'm not going to keep coming in here and saying either Levy out or fans need to stop buying at the Spurs store, spending £75 on another Spurs jersey, which is friggin' ridiculous anyway, because the last Spurs jersey I bought was £45. I'm not going no higher than that. I'm sorry. I'm not. Not when we've got not when we've got like a chairman and a board and an owner who doesn't want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had fans who's speaking about, we got fans on one side of like the whole Newcastle takeover. Oh, I think it's a bad thing for football. But I'm just like, bro, but that's the same thing that we want for our club right now anyway. We either want a multi-billionaire to come in and spend millions, or we want our multi-billionaire owners to spend millions. Isn't that what we want? Is that not what we want, people? We want our club to spend millions. Spend something. Lo Celso, waste, man. I'm done with Lo Celso, bro. Like, he should have been running that game yesterday. Done with him, bro. And anybody who says, oh, Lo Celso had a good game, what game were you watching? Because he was poor. He's done, bro. Free, bro. What do we pay for Lo Celso? 47 million? 47 million 3 years ago, when 3 years ago we could have spent 25 million on Grealish. But that was too much! 25 million 3 years ago on Grealish was too much. But let's spend 47 million on Gio Lo Celso. Let's do that! Well, I'm getting frustrated. I'm actually getting frustrated. So, what I'm going to do now is cut this video short. I'm going to roll up a big thing and I'm going to smoke it. And I'm going to make a herbal tea and I'm going to relax. Because Spurs, I don't even want to think about them until Sunday. Until we have to play. An hour before we play. I don't want to think about it. Because I'm done with Spurs. Like, I'm fully done, bro. Like, I'm tired. This is why I stopped being a supporter and became just a fan. Just a fan. But we are still out here. The majority of us are still out here supporting. Going home and away. Going like, whoever went to Amsterdam yesterday to suffer that shit, I don't even feel sorry for you, because you should have seen some shit like this happening. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. Because you lot should be calling it a day at some point too. Like, I get you being loyal, but some people are more loyal to a football club than they are to their own family and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, there comes a time and a point in life where you just say, fuck this shit.